Well, I think X6 are probably regretting not having him available here today for whatever the reason was. X6 fans still hanging in there. As they give their cheer at the end, so we'll see if they can pull this one off here on Horizon with their map selection. But Elven Mystic feeling a bit saucy.
So we know why X6 picked this map. They wanted to run the quad tank Moira, but it is going to be Repel on the Torbjorn. They're going to be running this with Junkrat for Peel. XZ is on the Widow we were talking about, and it's that Ariza comp. This comp is kind of noisy. It's trying to accomplish a lot, but if it gets stopped for 1 second, it's all over. Unfortunately for X6 though, it's pretty tough to get a quad tank comp into position to get this. They're getting closer. Junkrat is going to be absolutely critical here. He needs to build that Riptire as quickly as possible.
I mean, they're going straight down the staircase. He can just keep connecting those bombs that are around the side, bouncing them in. Poke did come through there on the Poke, but he just managed to stay alive. But now Dako has been taken down, but Sparkle starts popping off as he finds Sue, Roki, and Godsby both eliminated. One healer gone, one tank gone as well.
By the way, Dako didn't get killed. He's getting remax in pilot form.
Yeah, gets his way back in, gets the ult percentage. Will be able to make it back through. XZ finding some nice headshots coming in, but can't get the finishing blows. Riptire comes down, doesn't get the execution, however. On to nose fight, the shield was in position, but now it's still just going to be a trade out. One tick comes through here for X6. They're looking for much more on this push. Repel has the multi core ready to go, but isn't getting that much mileage out of it. And he's actually going to get taken down by the whole hog. CQB flips to the side, finds Pokpo. No Smite does die as XZ finds the kill, but it seems like X6 might have been able to win this war of attrition and force their way into the point.
I mean, they forced a square peg into a round hole, but you hit it hard enough, I guess it's going to fit. They grabbed this one. It was so difficult for them to actually get in position against the hog, the actually snipes coming through to add the extra damage through, the boost coming through from Jexay to make sure that Roadhog was doing enough damage, but X6, they forced their way onto the point. Once they got in there, the Junkrat binds and the Junkrat just the regular left click couldn't actually connect, nor could the Widow, and then it was 2 tanks versus 4 on the point. X6 wins the number game.
They're going to try to go for the Pharah here. And Godsby has swapped over to the Soldier 76, which has had a lot of negative results so far for us here in this tournament, but he's going to be trying his hands in this one yet again. A classic pick for him for sure. For now, though, Sparkle is trying to get some work done, building up, looking for that first barrage to come down, and already is at 74%, so it's going rather well for him, and Godsby gets picked out. Joe Gordon going down as well. Nice pit comes in, does get Dako. As he was out of the mech, and Nosmite now looking for an Earth Shatter to try to line him up with 2 targets. They're going to be staying in the air the entire time. It seems like he's going to try to kite back. Gets pushed to the side. Dismisses out with the charge straight into the wall. He's going to have a bit of egg on his face.
I would not be surprised if, even though he has the Earth Shatter, he just switches now to the Winston, and we see a composition swap. Although
he wants to use it.
He wants to use it. I mean, they have a decent time bank, but he gets this Spara. I mean, the Earth Shatter is irrelevant, essentially, if you can't get the winning picks on the ground and they're not running dive. So Godsby's going to have to do a lot of work here. He's got so much pressure on him now to find those kills onto
Raj coming down there from Sparkle. If you look at the picture does find one as Nosmite goes down. A lot of damage being tossed into the rest of the members, but can't find the killing blow.
They can't even just get onto the point to use the Shatter. That was such a great bubble by Pokpo as well. Just zoning Godsby out. He put the bubble down and called the barrage. Bubble blocks the soldier damage from coming out, then he gets into position of the barrage. He almost gets taken out as soon as the bubbles bursted there by Godsby, but that Winston barrier was so well placed. Really cool preparation here again by Element Mystic. I continue to be impressed. Now he's boosted here, they're on the point, but where are they really going to find value with this Earth Shadow? They're using Coalescence early.
That's going to be the whole hog actually taking down Sparkle of all ultimates to finish off that Pharah. He'll get taken down by that, but Jensi brings him back into the fight, and he immediately kills Nosmite yet again. Roki with the sound barrier is just a bit too late to keep them alive. They trade one back there on the XZ.
It was a good sound barrier, but it's just this comp, you can't make anything happen with it. Now, finally, we're seeing a switch onto the Winston. I mean, Earthshatter is a high impact ultimate, but if you're running a comp that's never going to allow you to use it, you might just want to let it go. They've cost themselves a lot of time being hell-bent on pushing this composition.
Sparksy looking for the kill. They managed to hunt down Godsby yet again while propelling the rest of X6-Gaming off this right-hand side. Sparkle, rather, he's got that barrage ready to go. I feel like I'm going to say Sparky a couple times.
That's all right. Well, Godsby's running now the Sombra because the Soldier has been unsuccessful. I like this. They're going to put BQB back onto the McCree. If they could use this pseudo dive with the Sombra in the Winston to pull the tanks away from El Mystic, then BQB can come and knock the Far out of the sky. Well, the Far that's no longer here because after they set this up, you switch. But we'll see if BQB can push through with this one. Obviously, the Mercy is going to be his primary target if he can get line of sight.
XC going hunting around the backside. They're trying to pinch them from both sides, and it's working out well. Pulse Bomb gets thrown in, doesn't find any kills, but Sparkle has taken out BQB. Jexy now taken down. No Mercy available. Not going to be having a res for the next member to go down on the side of Element Mystic, which is going to be Repel, a very crucial one here for X6, but they lose out on their tank line at the same exact time.
Yeah, this is not looking good for X6. Switching the comp again. BQB switching over to the Tracer now. As Element Mystic just continues to build ultimate charge. Sparkle's way out there, coming back over now. Godsby not even halfway to an EMP, and let's be frank, with the comp they're running, EMP doesn't accomplish too much. This is going to be, hacks are going to be useful in grabbing a Tracer, but he's pocketed, and Godsby just build an ult charge here.
Oh, but Nosmite goes in, he finds Xy, and this time the sound barrier is good, catches every single member on the side of X6 and helps keep them in the fight for the self-destruct, takes down Troy Hyoben. But Repel is going to be the larger target, and BQB is able to find a Dragon Blade out from Sparkle. Claims one, he's looking for a bit more, as Nosmite tries to stay alive there with the Primal Rage, but in the end, he's just going to have to use it to try to retreat.
Yeah, he's Discord, he has to get out of there. This was a sloppy engage by X6. They used the sound barrier to engage, so it was high impact in terms of shielding, but Element Mystic disengaged properly, saved the Dragon Blade till it was expired, and Nosmite had to use his Primal Rage to stop a stagger. That's not going to be what you want, and yet again, Godsby struggles to get this EMP, and what will they pair it with here? It's great to have everyone hacked in a team fight, but it's not like they've got a high impact follow-up DPS here.
Well, he manages to kill a Tracer this time around, but loses out on the Lucio and Bebe as well. Looks like he might be falling. Godsby drops in, throws in the EMP, and they do kill Jexy off the back, but that's about it. As you say, everybody has already been eliminated. Pokpo has already killed 2 of your teammates, including your healer that has the ultimate. Why invest the EMP? It builds up rapidly, yes, but well, you only have a minute left on the clock.
Sure, we only got a minute left. It builds up rapidly, but in this game, not so much for Godsby. I mean, he's really struggled to get into positions to harass. Obviously, the fastest way to build EMP is just to harass the tanks and build it quickly, but he's just never been able to do so. He's always being tracked by XZ here. He's hacked XZ a few times, but that's when Jexy comes in, gets the heal, and he just has to leave. He's only at 14 at the moment.
Mortal's got the Dragon Blade yet again, goes low, but the healing starts flowing through. Hasn't gotten any kills yet, but he has been chunking people down and finally gets Nosmite there with that last slash. Godsby finds a nice one onto the Mercy, eliminating Jexy here for the moment. But they have no time left, 20 seconds on the clock to try to get this. No ticks have been taken, and they need to cap this point B. Self-destruct comes out, they're trying to get the kill on Tadako, but he just barely manages to get it in the end. Almost had that free mech come through.
Yeah, that's definitely not what he's going to look forward to in the highlight reel, but he still gets it.
Yeah, Pulse Bomb comes down now. BQB doing some work here for the side of X6. Sparkle eliminated. Valkyrie out here from Jexy as he tries to keep everybody in the fight, but Roki has yet again another great sound barrier. Shield's getting chewed through. Mayday manages to stay alive in the end as Pokeball gets brought back into the fight. XC's dead. Pokeball goes down. X6-Gaming trying to win this one out.
Jexy healing for so long here.
First tick comes in. Dako's mid-deep mech. They're in for this one. This might be the victorious push here for the side of X6. Transcendence comes down, they poop him away, they'll manage to make it back in time, but they have to win the fight against the Primal Rage Winston. Nosmite comes back in, gets popped up, Bebe spamming away to keep him in this one. Primal Rage up from Pokemon, needs to save the fight, but the self-destruct will take him down, but Sparkle's got another Dragon Blade. Finds one, looking for more, has to resheath it, and nobody's on the point. It will get to completion, but good God, no time is left in the bank for X6.
Played a godlike Mercy there. I wish we could have had his first-person view. We don't normally watch the first-person view of Mercies. And before the lulls start flowing, I mean, he kept Dako alive for so long in that fight. His Valkyrie didn't get massive value because it was really only Dako and Xi who were alive. Xi died immediately afterwards, and that was basically a 6v2. He kept Dako alive for long enough to have the Transcendence come out. Transcendence comes out from Repel, And then that Transcends at the end of it allowed the Dragon Blade to come through from Sparkle. So Sparkle builds it, and during that time, everyone had been just, essentially, they'd used all their ultimates. The sound barrier was good. They kind of used everything at once, expecting that to be enough to win the point. Godsby had a great EMP, sound barriers there all at the same time. But the Dragon Blade was really what helped them finish off the targets, and they didn't even kill everybody, like you said. It was just the disarray that forced everyone off of the point there in overtime.
Well, they struggled for so long, but they finally get it in the end. Didn't build up any ticks. They just take it all in one fell swoop there in overtime.
Attack Symmetra? Please tell me I'm dreaming.
Would be quite crazy to see that one come through.
It's like Element Mystic makes a name for themselves, say, defeating X6 and also become the most BM team in Korea Contenders.
It'd be wonderful.
I don't think we're gonna see that Symmetra, but you know, I think it'd be really fun. We're gonna see a really similar setup here, obviously on the side of X6. You can see this is just sending balls down to Earth and trying to ruin the direct TV reception over there at the neighboring lunar colony. But yeah, it's just gonna be the Widow here on attack versus the same setup here for X6 with the Junkrat for Peel. Joyobin running the Hog though instead of the Diva.
Godsby just sitting here watching the corner for now. They try to get somebody with the Halt. Again, can go ahead, can guarantee those hooks as people get closer. Drag him in with the Orisa. You know exactly where they're going to end up there for the Roadhog hook to come through, as well as a headshot if you're Godsby sitting there waiting for it.
Sparkle is waiting for an opportunity right now. You see BQB is zoning people in here.
Oh, Jexy's going to go down. Roki finds the kill. Jexy waiting around the back, sitting in 0 OG. Everybody else is also going to go outside. This is very rare. We usually never see anybody use the outside of this map.
They're just trying to use this to circumvent the really set up defense here of X6. This is pretty predictable at this point. Obviously, they've already been seen, but this does force X6 to reposition. As you can see, they are headed down to gatekeep here, but Sparkle's already inside. He's been so passive. They are so down on ultimates right now, but they haven't done anything.
He's going to go forward, tries to get the execution there onto Bebe. Both healers dangerously low, but everybody else has just been going low. XC manages to dismantle the healers on the side of X6 by himself now. Up into the face of this Widowmaker goes Sparkle, trying to finish her off. Will be able to get it with a right click, but everybody else has died and is now waiting to respawn. He'll get BQB, but dies in midair.
I mean,
that's going to be halted.
Sparkle and XC just killed 4 people by themselves. Imagine if they had the whole team. They're going to have ultimates soon. They built a lot with this. No Smite's actually taken out.
It's a really great hook there by Joyobin, but he pulled back around the corner so he couldn't actually execute Repel. And now this is just going to give an opening here over to the side of Element Mystic.
I mean, the kills that Sparkle and XC actually got meant longer runbacks for X6. They couldn't get the position they wanted, so at the end of the day, this was actually successful, taking that flank, drawing the attention away from the DPS. The DPS get enough picks to when they reset and come back to the point. X6 doesn't have the setup they had before. Very well played here by Element Mystics, abusing those respawns.
XC now hunting around the back. He's got that pulse bomb ready to go. First tick halfway there here for the side of Element Mystic. Throws that one out. Not sure if he got anybody know the answer. Is certainly not. Nobody pops up on our kill feed, but now Sparkle, he's got another Dragon Blade ready to go. They're trying to get back into the spawn room. One more slash, going to finish off that Diva, but he cannot get it. At least we'll force the swap, so Joyobin is going to be losing out on any ult percentage that he gains. Bit of a consolation prize there for him as the self-destructs come through, and Joyobin's going to be executed by it. Sparkle dashes through, kills off Godsby, and now it's Roki feeling the pressure, popping that Transcendence just to get in onto the point to stop the second tick from going through, but it seems like Element Mystic are going to be the ones winning out this war in the end. No Spike goes up, does not come down alive. And Element Mystic are making record time here compared to X6-Gaming. 5 minutes left on the clock, a little bit more percentage to go until they close this one out in 4 OT rounds. Roki comes back in, he goes down, Sparkle finds the kill, and that is going to be the cap. Element Mystic, 4 minutes, 56 seconds left.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things going on here, but obviously the big one is, I mean, this is basically you just play by playing a slaughter because we had them get those kills, XC and escapes me, Sparkle getting those kills on basically 3 members, or I think even kind of 4, but it wasn't all at the same time, but like 3 or 4, right? To get those respawns coming through, the setup with the Orisa defense was not there. So they capped the point, right? And they do this with their second push. They've built nearly 6 ultimates, and they immediately go to point B. While everyone is respawning for X6, they're switching their comp. They start with no ultimates. They're starting from scratch because they can't run the Orisa Roadhog on point B. It just simply is not a thing. And then slam in comes Element Mystics with the Dragon Blade. They get a few picks, and it's just a disaster. And with the overtime finish on the side of X6, this is going to be rough, man.
Yep, have fun with it is basically all I can say for these guys.
With how quickly they took it last time, I'm not really putting my vote of confidence in the hold here for X6.
Certainly not. I will rip up my ballot instead. Well, here we go, Element Mystic getting ready to push X6, looking for the full hold on point A, have to deny even just 33% away from Element Mystic if they want to claim Horizon, which is their map pick.
Yeah, it's always rough when you're losing a series like this on all your map picks. Oh, Godspeed gets the snipe. That's a good start.
A decent little start there. They get Popo as well. Lose out on the Godspeed, and Ducko gets knocked out of the mech. So far, so good for the hold, but they nearly have the cap actually going on in the background.
Oh my God.
Almost had that taken away from them by surprise.
That would have been
Mystic.
the biggest C9 in Korean Overwatch history.
It would have been, I think in the history of the game, it probably would have been the biggest one.
That was so close to capturing.
The next biggest thing would have been Arhan backcapping in Season 1.
Yeah. I mean, this is still a great position for Element Mystic with 4 minutes on the clock. See, on the point here, someone's got to get on it.
Doesn't build it up nearly as close this time, but now everyone's tripped up, and he's got a great pulse bomb to take out two. The money shot comes in, and BQB and Bebe, they're the ones paying the price. It's an absolute slaughter. Choi Hyokbin's gonna go down. Team wipe, and Element Mystic go up 3-0.
That is the victory for this team that no one was expecting to dominate today. Opinions differed on how well this team would fare against X6. They've been hyped up so much based on their online results. And I know outside of Korea, every Contenders tournament is online. But in Korea, we'll always question the results of monster ladder players and online tournament winners because it's a different environment in front of new fans when your opponents are the fan favorites. To come in like this with practice strategies and crisp execution to crush X6 on 2 of their map picks and destroy them on the Paul with fantastic planning and good execution around XZ, this star DPS player for Element Mystic. It's, it was a surprise for many that that they were able to take it this well, but if I could go back in time, man, I would sing their praises. And for X6, they've still got 1 map pick left to try to mitigate the -4. But
how's that been going for you?
Not too well. But you know, it's been rough, Achilios, because this team, it lost Architect. BQB is trying his best to fill the shoes of both Architect and sometimes Time Boy here for this roster. Choi Hyokbin not wearing the jersey, again rumored to go to an Overwatch League team. I don't know what that means when he's there in a gray sweater in the booth, but I think it's not a good sign, and this team is clearly not playing up to the standard we expect from them based on what we've seen from them in the past. And where's Glister? I don't know the answer to that either, but what we see from X6 tonight, I think, I'd be a little bit different from what we're seeing from them in upcoming matches.
Yeah. Element Mystic in the meantime, making all the other teams watching from home sweat. Everybody else that is in this group, they've got to just be like, oh God, like they're way better than we ever anticipated. So how do we start preparing for these guys now? And even with the swap in coming through from Sparkle, had a few moments here and there when he would go in and kind of get taken down. But overall, these guys are looking so very clean. And I think that we're just kind of learning that XZ is greater than X6. And I don't know if there's anything they can do, even with their own map choice, to turn this around.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at what their map preferences from what the information they sent us. Route 66 is the map they like to go to with potential loss on Assault. So
we've seen already full holds on point A of Route 66 as well.
Yeah, also remember, like, this is a map that feels like it goes really well for the strategy we're seeing from Element Mystic, where they're showing great Widow play. We've also seen a lot of McCree on this map, where XC can run this.
You can run the exact comp that we were seeing on Horizon with this. You could go for the Orisa with the Roadhog backing them up. All of that is possible, but clearly Element Mystic has been the ones playing that cleaner than X6 here in their attempts.
I feel like if you want to...
Barring Hollywood Point. That was a bit of a flub.
Yeah, I feel like maybe the only other option is to go to Dorado and try to... We're going to have guard subbed back in. But this time for XC, this is actually, I think, just a sub for simply trying to say, like, with the series over, won the series, let's put him back in.
Yeah, this definitely has to just be like an experimentation, like just trying to see, like, okay, how do these guys play together? Let's plug this one in, because XC, I mean, playing phenomenally so far, honestly, has been really great to see.
I think
so. We'll have guard coming back in, so this will be a little bit of a delay as we get him back into the booth and get his settings up.
I think it's pretty indicative that we're headed to Route 6 as well, given that Guard was the Sombra player and Sparkle was the Genji player. So now you have a roster that can play the Genji and the Sombra, and that might be what we see on Route 66. But, you know, it's again, it could just be a rotational system to see which two DPSs end up synergizing the best. But the only reason I say Dorado is because I feel like X-Gaming did show some really nice quad.
That's a pro Genji.
Yeah, that's a really good drawing there. I think X6 did show some really good quad tank. We have seen quad tank and even triple tank with the McCree and the Roadhog on defense on Dorado be quite successful. So if that's the path you want to go down, that's the map you want to pick. If you want to play towards that strength they had, at least on attack for Lunar Colony, maybe that's what you want to do. A lot of YBT fans in the audience today. So it's like Yongbong Tong's energy, basically. It's like a parody of his name there. It's like he's super hype, you know? That guy who had the sign, by the way, he is one of the biggest Korean esports fans ever. I recognize his face. He's like been watching esports in Korea before I moved here. He's a fan of every Korean esport, man. He's been here forever. Every time I see him in a new season, I'm like, all right, we're going to be seeing this guy more often.
I mean, this is a place that you can live and just regularly go see esports, so it's really easy to be a big fan while you're here.
Yeah.
So it's quite nice. You want to go see StarCraft? There you go. There's an event like every single week for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of esports in Korea all the time, as it turns out, and it's a pretty cool place to live. I'm fortunate that you and I are living here, get to experience a lot of it, get to cast a lot of it.
Oh, I'm not living here. I fly back and forth every week.
Yeah, he's like over in LA. It's like pretty frustrating for him.
You know, I just want to like feel like I'm a part of the Owl Gang, but then like not a part of the Owl Gang, so I just hang out with them, and then I fly back over here on the weekend and everything like that. Now, luckily, I don't have to suffer through those 10 to 13 hour long flights, depending on which way you're going.
You know, that would be a pretty tough life.
Yeah, you know, the flight alone would just be the cost of rent, basically. Like, might as well just live here.
Or just live on the plane.
That's true. I think about how many miles I would accrue, though. I would have, you know, like diamond status or whatever on whichever airline I wanted.
Yeah,
very quickly if I decided to do something like that.
That certainly would.
Don't
make your experience
easier. I'm on the slow grind. I'm trying to get up to my Star Alliance gold.
Well, now
one day.
Now that Guard is back set up, let's find out where we're headed in Achilios. Route 66, the expected map here.
And hey, what do you know?
So I think this is probably a Guard swap in response to the announcement of Route 66 by X-Gaming, because that happens before player swaps are allowed. So I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Sombra play here on attack on the side of Element Mystic. They can choose attack first or defend first. They're going to defend first. They're still going to be running the Sombra. Sparkle on Tracer. And this is going to be mirrored compositions. Finally, though, this time Bebe, even though he's not able to get as many kills with it, he's known as a very aggressive Zen. That's what he's famous for. He's going to be playing the Moira, which I think has been a bit of an issue. They haven't been able to get as much value out of the Discord orbs as the healing of their opponents has given value to the tank armor.
Well, Sparky now going to be the one piloting the Tracer. Let's see how he's going to handle this on the defense. Fairly well commanded on Lunar Colony. They would love to have that full hold, and that's why they're going to be jumping forward. Guards in the back, gets that hack off, and they are just going to melt right through the armor of Toyomin's mech. He'll get popped out. Hasn't been finished off yet. Sparky manages to stay alive as he kites back, picks up that health pack. There's that kind little Sombra to back him up to make sure that they're all set to go every single time he's needed.
Well, I guess repelled down the mountainside to his death there with the boops coming through from Roki.
He's not good at repelling, it turns out.
Yeah.
He actually just fell.
Yeah, he fell. It hurt a lot, but he's okay. He's respawned. But anyway, good plays by Roki there. Obviously, Element Mystic was trying to kind of reset the defense, so he got the boot kills, but they were going to die anyways. Really great push, though, for X6. It's the best they've looked all series long, realistically, here. Sparkle looking for a pick onto the Moira. Finds the Sombra instead.
Sticks right in onto Godspeed, takes him down, and follows up for another one there. Onto Roki, things looking good for Element Mystic as they try to regain control over the payload. He's gonna find BQB, but goes slow, has to kite his way back. Now they're pressing straight back in towards the diner, keeping X6 contained and away from the objective.
Well, it's going to be an EMP battle here. We always talk about the high ground is the better one. The patient EMP is the better one. Neither Lucios have sound barrier, actually, so these could be really high impact.
Oh, Daco just got the mech back. He'll get in safely.
That was a close call. EMP coming up first.
Yeah, Guard throws that one in, and Godspeed is taken out first and foremost, so cannot answer with one of his own. Yobin knocking the mech yet again. The hack comes in from Guard. He's been playing this Sombra to a T, and no spite. He's got nowhere to go. Self-destruct gets invested. Doesn't find anything. Daco just going to get back into the mech yet again.
For me now, all eyes are on Jexay here in Achilios because if he can actually avoid this follow-up EMP and get the sound barrier off, then they've won massively because now that both sound barriers are up, it just doesn't matter as much for X6. They already faced that EMP.
The Element Mystic is just fearless. They are charging forward towards the danger. Pulse pops come through from both tracers. Gonna get a mech pop and then a kill on the Bebe. So rather nice trade there from the side of Element Mystic as Poco finds himself just swinging away with that primal rage. Doesn't get any kills, doesn't get any knockoffs, and now X6 with their ult superiority is going to be looking to take back control over this payload.
So Hyobin uses the remake there that helps them kind of keep control right now with such a small timing left. It's unfortunate he has to use that, but necessary, I feel, to maintain control at this point. Okay, Godspeed looking for that EMP now. He's getting closer to position. Sound barrier is placed well, though. Again, that's so important. You have to
tossed in. It helps keep BQB alive for the moment. He's going to throw in the pulse bomb. Gets a bit of damage there onto Daco and actually knocks him out of the mech. Guard now jumping down, has an EMP of his own. Throws it straight into the faces of X6-Gaming. They're just firing away straight through the tunnel, but no kills really to come of it. Sparkle has to go on his own little mission there to finish off Bebe, but they've already lost out on their tank line. Element Mystic actually suffering here as X6 should be able to continue this push.
And despite actually having that great sound barrier and a follow-up EMP that hit multiple members, they just couldn't capitalize on it very well. And I think this should eventually be the point they take now on the side of X6 with the long run back coming through. They're going to go for one last contest.
They'll go ahead and push their luck with this one, even though they don't have many ults to rely on. Self-destruct goes up, Pokebo is going to go down as Guard also gets taken out by Nosebite, finding a triple kill as he kills Jexay as well. Just zapping everybody to death, it would seem here, as he just sits on top of the payload, king of the castle. They'll roll into point A.
And this death ball style for X6 with the Moira is finally finding so much success. Makes me, wonder what things could have been like all the way back on Nepal had they been running the Moira instead of the Zenyatta. And that's really what's winning them as well, is the sustained healing from the Moira, when even though Guard's having better EMPs arguably, and Jexay has been shutting down the EMPs with sound barriers more successfully, they're still able to keep the healing up, and Godspeed is finally able to pop off.
Element Mystic yet again, wanted to take control over this payload, and Poco goes in with a primal rage. Everybody just grouped up into the tunnel, and he just rips them to shreds. King Kong picking up 2 as the healers go down, and now it's just going to be all about the staggers. Everybody that they can get to just buy more and more time off of that time bank. 1 minute and 40 seconds left. First time, I believe, we're seeing the street space here on Route 66, and we might not be seeing too much more of it.
Certainly might not.
So we'll get the wide shots. We can see everything.
Yeah. So ult advantage to Element Mystic right now, but we've seen that even though they've had the better ult fights, arguably the better ult exchanges, they still haven't won the team fight straight up. Godspeed, good angle here, they don't see him.
Wants down there, does find the one onto Daco, but Roki has already been taken out of the fight by Sparkle with that pulse bomb. Daco will be knocked out of the mech, but so will Troy Kyoben, and it's just going to be an all-out brawl here in close quarters combat. Sparkle trying to take him down, had barely any HP, and Godspeed finally does fall. Element Mystic going to retain control over this payload, and X6-Gaming, they might just have to dump every single ultimate that they have to try to get through. It's actually going to be matched on both sides, both supports ready to go, as well as those self-destructs.
Guard has been so good at EMPing the supports every time, and Jexay has had a much better grasp on how to avoid the EMPs to have the sound barriers there in terms of Lucio versus Lucio, but he's killed Bebe several times as well with these EMPs, and that was exactly what happened in that last fight. Attack
from above, Pulse Bomb comes down from Sparkle, but he's not going to be finding anything in that Coalescence. He's just ripping people to shreds, finds the one there onto guard. Poke. Primal Rage ready to go if he can stay in the fight. That will go down. Bebe and Roki, however, have been eliminated, and X6 are going to be without healers. He tries to get the Pulse Bomb stick, but doesn't find anything for it. Self-destruct here onto the payload should buy them a little bit of distance, as Daco tries to get back into the mech right on top of, or right underneath the members of X6, I should say.
Well,
he can't pull that off.
To keep this momentum going here, they've been so good on the point when they actually have it rolling, when they're not halted. Godspeed, looking if he can get an opening pick here onto Jexay here, this would be pretty amazing. Just gonna be conservative though, holding the translocators and cloak wears off. Big 6 push though, available here for Melon Mystics. They're gonna engage with it. The hack though, it's almost everybody.
Yeah, the EMP gets thrown right down there by Godspeed. He goes slow, manages to stay alive because Roki yet again has a great sound barrier to keep everybody in the fight. Daco taken out of the mech, and Element Mystic is just fighting tooth and nail to try to regain some semblance of control. Popo takes things into his own hands with the Primal Rage, gets rid of Roki. The healers are gone. Element Mystic wants to finish it right here, and they will be able to do so. They stop them in their tracks
every
as the
time.
OT bar plummets.
Every time Jexay's got his sound barrier. He's never hacked when these EMPs come down. He has, I think, I would like to go back and check, but I feel confident to say that every EMP we saw from Godspeed did not hit him, did not hit the mark on the Lucio. And on the opposite side of things, Guard's EMPs were focused on the supports, sometimes not even looking for the 6-man EMP. He wanted the EMP that could break the support line, stop those sound barriers, win the longer fights. This is still the most composed we've seen X6, to be quite honest with you, Achilios, but composure not enough to get them to that elusive point B. And you know, it's just terrifying that we've seen now basically 3 combinations of DPS on this team outclass the more experienced Godspeed. Element Mystics fans, I feel like they're multiplying. Achilles, that sign wasn't here earlier. It was recently drawn. Okay.
More people are getting converted. They came to cheer for X6 and find themselves walking out of here supporting Element Mystic, perhaps.
It was a really important skill to be able to transcendence against EMPs, to be able to sound barrier against EMPs. Players like IDQ, like Toby, in Apex, for example, they're so known for their counterplays to Sombra when she was semi-meta. We'd only see it like on Volskaya, for example.
Oasis.
Now that it's, Oasis. Now that it's the meta, you've got to be in the right spot. And although we haven't seen a lot of camera shots of Jexay, when you see an EMP go down and everyone who's EMP'd still has sound barrier, you know Jexay did his job. And I've been pretty impressed with how well he's been able to mitigate the damage. And also, on the other hand, how well Guard has been able to land EMPs on the support line. Not really due to mispositioning by Roki and Bebe, but just because Guard is finding those angles. He's prioritizing the supports over a 6-man EMP.
Well, Element Mystic now going to be on the attack. Don't have the Tracer coming out, but Sparkle's back over onto that Genji for the dive alongside the Sombra. X6 going to be running very standard, nothing cheeky here, such as the Orisa Roadhog composition. Sparkle starts inching his way up on top of Big Earls, just trying to poke out here with those shurikens as best as he can. Godspeed from the flank, gets the hack off there onto the Diva, but everybody else is just going to turn straight in over towards that Sombra, and he's got to back out the translocator.
Popo in a great position here to do a ton of
He's
damage.
Isolated, he's going to get knocked out of the mech.
And look at everyone's kind of stuck in that area. He doesn't even look for them. He's looking for more. He's pushing this deep. He's getting greedy. Once they demech Choi Hyobin, so much damage was done. He just goes deep in to get to the back line. And this is allowing the cart to be pushed so far. They need to get on it to push it, though.
Yeah, this has cost them the lives of both of their supports. Repel died while Choi Hyobin was getting knocked out of the mech, so it was not without consequence.
It was cool at first, but yeah.
Maybe a bit too aggressive as they go back in there. Payload now moved up just in front of Big Earls. Still a ways to go, but still plenty of time on the clock, so we'll see how they keep handling these pushes as they move forward. Support's going to be a bit further behind when it comes down to their ult charge, but should be able to build that up swiftly.
Undelaying hack here in the Dako. I mean, that's going to be a lot of
Oh, that's sick. Yep, Repel. If he had not died the first time, would have had the Transcendence ready to go.
Godspeed. See if he can get Jexa. This time he's on him. He's not letting that barrier come down. Jexa at 98% of that one. Godspeed threatening the EMP, gets the kill without the barrier here, or sorry, without the EMP here. Very well played.
and Repel both getting picked off twice. But
now they've got the big 6 now.
Yeah.
And this looks like the way to push this through if they stagger their ultimates correctly. Guard looking for the supports again. Look at this.
Used by Godspeed. Oh, that's going to be a hold of the EMP as the Transcendence comes down here.
So
Guard
well done.
going to be waiting on this one. Tosses it out here as the down barrier also connects in. Plenty of shielding available on both sides. The Dragon Blade is there from Sparkle, and he is cutting through them quite nicely. BQB goes down as does Bebe. They managed to answer one of the healers here as Repel falls. Payload still inching forward.
This has been really a better understanding from Element Mystic as to how to deal with Sombra, how to play the Sombra. I mean, we just watched him stand on top of the supports. The Transcendence comes out before he can EMP. He holds it. He's patient, uses it afterwards, wins the fight. Element Mystic grabs the point. He's just so good at being on the supports, knowing exactly when to toss down the EMP. Jexa got his sound barrier off again. Surprise, surprise. And things continue to be disastrous for X6.
Guard right here into the back, tries to get the hack there onto the Moira. Takes Bebe down to half HP, but won't be able to finish him off. That would be a very big pick if they could have gotten it. But not too far to go to close this one out. You can see that defense matrix coming in, just protecting the Zenyatta at a moment's notice, and oh boy, kills will just explode forth onto the feed. Dako gets knocked out of the mech, but that's about the only bad thing here for Element Mystic right now, because Sparkle is taking names along with the rest of his squad. Basically an extended team kill coming through there. X6, they're struggling to find any ground to stand on here in this matchup.
It's funny because we're seeing our observers try to go to the DPS to have ultimates, trying to go to Godspeed every time these fights happen. Just keep dying. Don't get to show any of the X6 members, unfortunately. All right, Jexa doesn't have the barrier. Obviously, Godspeed doesn't know that. Let's see where he wants to put the EMP, though. If we compare...
That one's going to get thrown in. Sparkle yet again has that Dragon Blade ready to go. Finds one as Roki goes down. Couple more swipes. Finds no smite. No more kills to come of that ult in particular, but it doesn't even matter because the payload has arrived. Another 4-0.
Element Mystic, man, they looked fantastic tonight. Expectations defied by anyone approaching this series looking at it. People said that X6 was the favorite. There was a lot of hype behind Element Mystic.